Hello and welcome to the Aries Own It March 2023 energy call. Thank you so much for being on the call tonight. I really am so happy you're here to share this energy with you and share this information. My name is Mary Beth Wollenschlager, and I created Love Your Life in Sync. I created it to help people find greater ease in living life. And you might wonder how we do that. And we do that by teaching heart harmonizing habits and coaching you along the way so that these habits become more natural and you can tap into your own heart's intelligence. And we also tap into astrology because astrology is a great way to learn more about yourself. And the way we look at astrology is like, okay, these are the cards you were dealt. What do you want to do with them? But astrology is only half the picture because it's really what we do with those cards, what we do with what we're dealt, the choices we make. That's what makes the difference. So by learning heart harmonizing habits, which by the way are tried and true and have over 20 years of scientific research behind them, you can learn ways to align your mind with your heart and let the two work together to be your guide. Wouldn't you like to say with greater ease and regularity, I love my life? So today is March 22nd, and the sun just moved into Aries on Monday, which was also that was the first day of spring. And then just a few hours later, the moon lined up with the sun, which gave us a new moon. And that's what a new moon is. It's when the sun and the moon are lined up in the same degree in the same astrological sign. Now, usually we get one new moon per month, and it's always in the sign that the sun is in. So our new moon is in Aries this month. And next month, when the sun moves into Taurus, the new moon will be in Taurus. And the month after that, the sun will move into Gemini, and we'll get a Gemini new moon. So you get the picture. But this month is extra special because we have 2 new moons in Aries. How does that happen? Well, stay tuned and I'll share a little bit more about that in a few minutes. But for now, let's just take a moment to appreciate the opportunity that is available during this time with a second new moon in Aries. And what you need to know about new moons is they provide a great opportunity to begin anew, to plant new seeds, to set intentions, or even to make new moon wishes. And you can intend or wish for anything you want. But if you are aware of the sign the new moon is in this case, the sign of Aries, and you create your intentions and wishes and plant your seeds around Aries themes, then you are tapping into the energies the skies are offering. You are aligning with the universe. So let's get started the way we always do, by harmonizing our hearts with our minds. So I invite you to relax and either look at this beautiful picture of the snowdrops or close your eyes and perhaps place your hand over your heart as you draw your awareness to your heart and imagine the breath flowing in and out of the heart as you breathe a little slower and a little deeper. And find a nice, comfortable rhythm. And you might breathe in to the count of 4 and exhale to the count of 4, just so that the breath is even between the inhale and the exhale. That soothes our nervous system. Once you have a nice, comfortable rhythm, activate a regenerative feeling such as compassion or kindness or gratitude. And by activate, I mean let your body feel it. Let your elbow feel gratitude. Let your big toe feel gratitude. Just notice how that affects your whole body. Let your whole body radiate gratitude and radiate it to yourself as if your heart were a little heater or a little sun, shining gratitude all over your body, over every cell, over every gland, over every organ, over every bone. Feel the gratitude like the warmth of the sun washing over your body. And this is very nourishing for our cells. Saying thank you to our body, thank you to our cells, is healing. And as we continue to focus on gratitude, radiating it to ourselves, when you're ready, perhaps you can start to radiate it out into the world. Maybe you have someone specific in mind that you know needs some healing energy, some of your love, whether it's gratitude or kindness or compassion. Just start picturing your energy radiating out into the space you're sitting in your home or your car, wherever you're listening to this. Let it radiate out into the neighborhood you're in. Blanketing your neighborhood. And continue to let it spill out, covering your city and your state. Seeing it wash over your country, the whole planet, and just a general sending of healing energy, compassion, and maybe pick a couple of people you really want to highlight it for. You really want to send it specifically to a few individuals or a group of individuals. There's many people on the planet that are going through tough times. And our compassion can make a difference. It's been proven scientifically. And so as we continue to let that energy of compassion radiate out over the planet, we send it out into the universe, into our solar system, into the multiverse. And we know we're creating a ripple effect just by joining together, whether you're watching this live or in the future on YouTube. We're all connected in this moment of now, and we can harness our energy, harness our compassion. And on our next breath, let some of that come back to you. Remember that what you give, you receive. And then when you're ready, you can open your eyes and we'll continue on with our presentation. So March is a huge month, perhaps the biggest month of the year. It's all about change and opportunities to begin fresh, to start over. And if you think about it, the ability to start over is such a gift. How many times have you attempted to make a change, and when it didn't work the first time, you wanted to give up? Well, the Aries energy helps us say, it's okay. Let's do it again. Let's try again. Let's start over. It's a new day. You've learned from what didn't work. Let's keep going. It can only get better. So why is there so much change in the air in March? Well, it starts with the sun. The sun is in Aries, which Aries is the start of the new astrological year. So Happy New Year. And it's spring. Everything is fresh and new. We love the fresh air at this time of the year. And wherever the sun is in the sky, it's the universe highlighting that astrological sign, because the universe is literally putting the largest spotlight it has, which is the sun, in that sign. It's also the name we give people. If your birthday is between March 21st and April 21st, we call you an Aries. Even though there are 9 other planets in the sky, and thus there were 9 other planets in your birth chart that could be in any one of 12 astrological signs. Still, we focus on the sun and we call you an Aries. But in reality, you might have 5 or 6 other planets all in one particular sign. In astrological language, we would call that a stellium, which comes from the word stellar or star, and stellium means multiple stars. Well, there's a hint right there. If you have a bunch of stars in one sign, wouldn't that mean you have a lot of energy associated with that sign? Of course it would. My point here is, while the sun is a big spotlight, there are 9 other major planets, and together, all 10 of them are influencing us to a greater or lesser degree, depending on where they are in the chart and what other planets they are aligning with. So one of the reasons March is so significant this month is not only is the sun in Aries, but so is Mercury, which is the planet that rules our thinking and our communication, along with Jupiter. Jupiter is the largest planet in our solar system. It's the planet associated with expansion. So along with the sun and Mercury, which are highlighting the Aries energies, Jupiter will expand those Aries energies. Also in Aries is Chiron. Chiron is an asteroid followed by many astrologers just as though it were a planet. Chiron is known as the wounded healer. You can look up the mythology of Chiron, or any of the planets for that matter, for more information. But Chiron, as the wounded healer, is helping to heal Aries wounds because it's in Aries. And anytime there's a healing, that involves a change. So if that weren't enough focus on Aries and change and beginning anew and turning the page, as mentioned earlier, we have 2 new moons in Aries. How does that happen? The short answer has to do with the speed the sun and the moon travel and the fact that each sign has 30 degrees. The sun and the moon aligned just after the sun entered Aries, when the sun was barely at 1 degree of Aries. Then the moon takes about 1 month or 28 days to travel the zodiac. The sun moves about 1 degree a day. So in 28 days, the sun will be in the last degree of Aries at 29 degrees, and the moon will have gone full circle through the entire zodiac wheel and will again line up with the sun, creating the second new moon in Aries on April 20th, just after midnight. And then about 4 hours later, the sun will move into the next sign, which is Taurus. But we still get that rare treat of 2 new moons in the first sign of the astrological zodiac, which is Aries. Besides all that, we have 3 planets changing signs, and each of these planets offers us different energies. Mars is about our get up and go. It's our drive. Mars helps us to get what we want. Now, Mars has been hanging around in the sign of Gemini since August, which is really unusual because Mars generally travels through a sign in about 2 months and takes 2 years to circle the zodiac. Mars will be moving into Cancer on March 25th. Cancer, like Aries, represents the start of a new season. It's starting summer in the Northern Hemisphere, of course. So again, more new start energy from Mars. And every astrological sign has a planetary ruler, a boss, you could say. So Aries gets bossed by Mars. So the 4 planets in Aries now, the Sun, Mercury, Jupiter, and Chiron, all have to answer to Mars as Mars moves into a sign that promotes starting something new. Then we have Saturn. Saturn is the planet that provides tough love. Saturn says, he who hesitates gets bossed. And Saturn wants us to be boss in all aspects of life. And if we aren't, Saturn will bring opportunities to help us say, okay, I've had enough. I've had enough of this. I'm in charge now. I'm in charge of me. I call the shots. So Saturn's speed is much slower than any of the other planets I've mentioned. Saturn takes about 29 years to go around the zodiac wheel, so it spends 2.5 years in each sign. Now, Saturn is the boss of 2 signs, Capricorn and Aquarius, and those signs, Aquarius follows Capricorn. So we have just spent the last 5 years with Saturn's in signs that it's the boss of, bringing more power to the energy of those signs. It's kind of like if you're the parent and you have teenagers and you're at home and the teenagers are home, you're in charge and you call the shots. But when you, let's say you go away for the weekend and the teenagers are at home, but you're not in the house, well, the dynamic might be different, right? You're still in charge of those teenagers. You still are the boss, but you're not at home. So Saturn has been at home in Capricorn and Aquarius, and it just moved into the sign of Pisces, where it's no longer, it's not in charge of Pisces. But a change in sign is always going to change the energy. Lastly, we have Pluto, which is the slowest of our 10 major planets. And Pluto changes signs every 14 to 20 years, give or take. And it takes about 250 years to go around the whole zodiac cycle. Pluto is the planet of transformation, of death and rebirth. And that is going to move into Aquarius. Aquarius is about power to the people tomorrow on March 23rd. As a point of reference, the last time Pluto was in Aquarius was in the late 1700s. And we had the French Revolution and America had just gained independence. All that said, yes, change is in the universe and it will affect us individually, depending on where these planets were in your chart when you were born and where they've moved to now. In astrology, we call that where they've transited to now and who they're talking to or what planets they're making aspects or at angles to. And that'll tell you what it means for you personally. Of course, the best way to get that answered would be to get an astrology reading. And this is a great time to do that because there is so much change. And then once you find out what cards you're being dealt with all these changes, then it would be a great time to learn some heart harmonizing habits to help you respond to those changes. So this is going to affect us on a global scale, some say on an evolutionary scale. It's an exciting time to be on planet Earth, no doubt. And this month is going to give us some indicators of the coming changes, which will unfold over time and be divinely or universally orchestrated for our growth. So if you're feeling that itch to change something, whether it's small or something big, the universe is supporting you. The universe may even be calling you. In fact, some of these changes are so big, you could feel like you're a different person. So listen up, listen with your heart. Okay, so we've talked all this talk about all that's going on in Aries. So what do you need to know about Aries? So we've mentioned that almost half of our 10 planets are in Aries this month. And these pictures tell us a lot. First of all, Aries energy is energy that is chomping at the bit. Aries is ruled by Mars. It's the let's go get 'em energy. It loves the starting line, and it wants to be first out of the gate with its heart pumping and its adrenals turned on. Aries is about passion and vitality. Aries exudes confidence and claims the I am, whatever you want to be. I am that. And Aries doesn't do it out of being selfish or self-centered, but Aries understands the importance of putting yourself as number one, top banana, if you like. And Aries wants you to do that for yourself as well, because Aries knows that it takes each of us to be our very best for all of us to be our very best and get the overall best results. So Aries energy can be very persuasive because they are on fire. They're one of the fire signs, and their enthusiasm is catching. So that's why the colors are red for Aries, or any bright and bold colors. The symbol for Aries is the ram. Just look at those beautiful horns. So Aries can be headstrong, and rams are known for locking horns. So with Mercury, the planet of communication, in the sign of Aries, watch out for whom you might want to butt heads with, or maybe you'll witness other people butting heads. But Aries just wants to go. Aries isn't always planful, and Aries isn't worried about the destination, and certainly doesn't care if you have reservations or not. Aries enjoys the joy of the journey. Aries also encourages us to simplify, to focus on what's really important. Aries has no time for busy work. That's baloney for Aries. Don't even bother. Now, if you're not feeling the Aries energies for whatever reason, or at times you don't have the passion and the confidence and the vitality, there are some different ways you can get what I'll call the Aries medicine. One way is to make sure that you balance your energy, the you energy, with the us energy, because the sign opposite Aries is Libra, and Libra is about us. So you want to make sure you have a good balance on that. And another way is just to spend more time learning about Aries. One way would be to explore the mythology of Aries or Mars, or you could come up with your own affirmations that start with the I am statement. I am strong. I am confident. I can. I am doing this. And then the secret is not to just say them, but to feel them as you say them. Make sure your heart is activated as you say these affirmations. So hold on to your hat. The Aries energy is upon us, and Aries wants us to own it. So to help us own it, let's move into our tarot reading. So for today's reading, now, if you want a little more background on tarot, I'm going to link some prior YouTube videos, the last few that I've done. I've gone into more detail on how to do the tarot, but anybody can read the tarot. You just have to notice what you notice and let the pictures talk to you. So we're going to focus on 3 questions. And as we start to focus on these questions, we need to be grounded, because I'm going to pull 3 cards as we meditate on these questions. So I invite you to uncross your legs if they're crossed and get centered in your seat comfortably. Again, focusing on the heart and imagining the breath flowing in and out of the heart a little slower, a little deeper. Inhale through the heart and exhale through the heart. Inhale through the heart, exhaling through the heart. One more time, inhale through the heart. This time, exhale through the bottoms of your feet, connecting with Mother Earth. On your next inhale, pull that energy from Mother Earth and exhale it out through your heart. Inhale through the heart and exhale through your third eye, the space between and on your forehead, just above, between your two eyes, above your forehead. And then exhale out through the heart. Inhale through the heart again and exhale out through the crown. And we're going to cycle through this breath, connecting the crown chakra, which connects us to source energy, the third eye connecting us to our intuition, and through our feet, connecting us to Mother Earth. So just let your breath cycle through those areas, always through the heart. And I'm going to begin to shuffle the deck as I read to you these 3 questions. What do I want to be that I am afraid to admit? Maybe I want to be top banana. Aries starts own it. The second question, what will help me own it that I'm not seeing? And the third question, why is it important for me to own it? Give the cards a couple more shuffles. I'm going to pull the cards and then I'm going to pause the recording so that those present on the call look at the cards together and decipher, do the reading together. And then we'll come back on the recording and share. But if you're watching this on YouTube, you're invited to go ahead and pause the recording after we know what the cards are and either look at your own tarot cards, these cards that I pulled, or Google them online. You can get images of them. So we're ready to pull the cards. So the first question, what do I want to be that I'm afraid to admit? And the first card we're getting is the 8 of Wands. The next card answers the question, what will help me own it that I'm not seeing? Oh, and we're getting the 7 of Wands reversed, which is interesting because those 2 cards go together. And the last question, why is it important for me to own it? And we're getting a major arcana card. We're getting the Fool, which is, interestingly enough, about new beginnings. So I'm going to pause the recording. Oops. Here we go. Pause. Okay, so we're back. Whoops, we went ahead. We have to go back a slide. Technology is my friend. Technology is my friend. Okay, so here we are. And so for our first question, what do I want to be that I'm afraid to admit? We pulled the 8 of Wands. So Mary Jo, would you like to share a little bit about that, or do you want me to start, or do you want to start? So say what you said about the 8. What is the 8?
Yeah, okay. So the 8 to me is like the sign of infinity and even prosperity. It's a powerful sign. So would I be afraid to admit that I would like to be the power that God created me to be.
Yeah, I think we said that being, the infinity is a powerful, like you said, it's a powerful symbol. And we might be afraid of not only our own power, but the responsibility that comes from owning our own power. And we also said that the 8 of Wands, those 8 rods or wands representing fire energy, they're all in one line, they're all focused, they're all going in one direction. So it's inviting us, like, are we afraid to focus? Because if we focus, then we can't hide behind any of our distractions anymore. And it means we're lining up with our purpose,
Yeah.
lining
Yeah.
up with owning it.
Mhm. Focused energy. Perfect. Yeah.
Focused energy, yeah. And then our next question was, what will help me own it that I'm not seeing? And we got the 7 of Wands reversed. So Mary Jo, you talked about the shadow with this one. So how did you get the shadow from this card?
Well, because of what I'm not seeing, so I might not be seeing all those shadow parts of myself that I need to look at and accept,
Yeah,
so that I can own what I need to
yeah.
own.
And I think we got to it being the shadow bet by saying that in the 7 of Wands, it looks like the major person is protecting or guarding something, but since it was reversed, we said we're trying to guard something from ourselves, and that's how we got to that idea of the shadow, as Mary Jo was saying, and we need to embrace the shadow, because by not looking at it, then we can't heal, right? And we talked about this being like guarding something, so we're like guarding our wounded self. So
Yeah, or our wounded self is trying to guide us, keep us from looking at the shadow, because
yeah,
that hurts.
yeah, the wounded self. So what will help me own it that I'm not seeing is recognizing my wound, recognizing my shadow,
Mhm.
and embracing it then,
Mhm.
because like we said, in order to heal a wound, a wound to heal, and this brings in that Chiron energy, and it's in Aries right now. In order for a wound to heal, we need to give it some air time, like literally we need to expose it to the air so it can heal.
Yeah.
Okay. And then the last question, why is it important for me to own it? And we got the Fool, which is a major arcana card. And going with our Aries theme and Aries energy, it's the very first card in it's card number 0. So Mary Jo, would you like to share about that? The Fool?
Well, yeah, I mean, we came here to be, who God created us to be, love and light. And that's why it's important for us to own it, to be and to love and accept all aspects of ourselves so that we can be a better, service to the world.
Yeah. And we said that the Fool is kind of an invitation to, so the Fool, it's about to, like, looks like it's going to step off the ledge. And so it has to trust and has to take that leap of faith to raise consciousness. And we would be foolish when Mary Jo, you said this, you said that, we do that, we step out into the world by living our lives. So it's important for me to own it and to step out and to live my life. It's important for me to own it so that I can move forward. And as you said, be that all that I came here to be, that love and light. And it would be foolish to hold back and not believe that I am what I am, not believe that I came here to be who I came here to be. That would
Right.
be foolish.
And not take
Yeah.
that leap of faith.
Yeah, and not take the leap of faith. All right. So thank you. Thank you for helping with that reading.
My pleasure.
It was great to have you. Thank you. So in the future, if you'd like to read with us, please be on the call live. Okay, so final thoughts. I love this quote. If health is the new wealth and kindness is the new cool, then your own intuition is the new guru. So own it. Own your intuition. So our next call will be on the third Wednesday in April at 7 p.m., April 19th, and we'll look at the Taurus energies and do another tarot reading. So again, thanks so much for watching, being on the call live. If you enjoyed this, or watching it on YouTube, but if you enjoyed watching it on YouTube, maybe you'd like to enjoy engaging with us live. We'd love to have you. So have a great month, and thank you again. Okay. Thank you. Bye for now.